Will you make it home for the holidays, or will your seat vanish before your eyes? This year, something strange is happening in the skies. Just when millions of people are packing their bags, printing their boarding passes, and dreaming of holiday reunions, major airlines are slashing flights and reworking schedules, leaving countless travelers asking the same uneasy question: am I actually going to get there? American Airlines, Delta, Southwest, and United, the four pillars of U.S. domestic travel, are quietly pulling back. They're cutting capacity, canceling routes, and issuing warnings that something is seriously wrong. And here's the kicker: these changes are happening at the worst possible time. United Airlines recently announced it's cutting 4% of its domestic flights starting in July. Why? Because fewer people are buying economy tickets. And that drop is so significant, it's reshaping their entire strategy. Delta had been betting on a big bounce in 2025, but now they're freezing growth altogether. They're blaming the economy, global instability, and trade challenges, a polite way of saying things are getting chaotic. Southwest isn't immune either. Despite boasting record revenue earlier in the year, their March quarter was a gut punch. Bookings fell flat, especially among leisure travelers, the bread and butter of Southwest's business. And they're not sugarcoating it. Trends have been unpredictable, uneven, and increasingly uncertain. What's eerie is how fast this all changed. Just a few months ago, airlines were bragging about booming profits. American had its eyes on a big 2025. Delta said it was shaping up to be their best year ever. But those predictions, gone. The optimism faded. What's left is a kind of cautious panic, a scramble to adjust course before things get worse. And things are getting worse. American Airlines has already pulled its financial forecast for 2025. That's a big deal. Companies don't do that unless they have no clue what's coming. Delta and Southwest followed suit, admitting that their earlier earnings targets are now basically meaningless. Even United took the unusual step of issuing two separate forecasts for the year, one for a stable economy and one for a possible recession. That alone tells you how little confidence they have in what's ahead. Smaller carriers are feeling the heat too. Frontier and Alaska Air Group both ditched their 2025 profit forecasts, citing the same volatile booking patterns. Consumer behavior is changing. Travelers are hesitating, waiting, cutting back. That uncertainty is hitting every corner of the industry. One of the most dramatic shifts is happening in economy class. American Airlines reported a sharp drop in budget bookings starting in February, just weeks after a strong January. Their CEO said the decline was sudden and steep, and it caught them off guard. United echoed this, noting that fewer people are buying cheaper tickets, and Southwest, the most vulnerable due to its heavy reliance on leisure passengers, has seen demand evaporate across the board. Airlines that depend on domestic travel and budget-conscious flyers are now facing an identity crisis. They can't just fill planes with cheap fares anymore, but raising prices risks driving away even more customers. It's a lose-lose situation. And underneath it all, there's something bigger happening. A growing number of Americans are bracing for a recession. According to recent polls, concerns about inflation, job security, and political instability are rising fast. Add to that the resurgence of tariffs under President Donald Trump, and you've got an economic cocktail that's making people think twice about non-essential spending, especially travel. Trump's new wave of tariffs is already sending shockwaves through the economy. He's raised import taxes on Chinese goods to 145%. In response, China hit back with 125% tariffs on U.S. exports. And if that sounds like the beginning of another trade war, you're not wrong. Financial markets are rattled, consumer confidence is slipping, businesses are pausing investments, and for regular folks, that means pulling back on vacations, holiday trips, even weekend getaways. The impact is especially hard on lower-income households. These families, already squeezed by higher grocery bills and rent increases, are now cutting out travel altogether. Discretionary spending is disappearing, and airlines are watching their most price-sensitive customers vanish. Southwest reported exactly that. Softened bookings throughout the March quarter, especially among domestic leisure travelers. But the ripple effects don't stop at the border. International travel to the United States is also in free fall. In March alone, overseas arrivals dropped 11.6% compared to the same time last year. From Western Europe, the drop was even steeper, down 17.2%. Analysts say this isn't just about airfare or exchange rates, it's about perception. Global travelers are seeing U.S. policies, particularly on trade, as increasingly hostile, and they're choosing to stay away. this matters a lot. International tourism is a massive contributor to the U.S. economy. A decline in foreign visitors could shave 0.1% to 0.3% off GDP, translating to a loss of anywhere between $23 billion and $71 billion. And when you consider that travel and tourism supported over 6 million U.S. jobs in 2023, that's not a small hit. It's a potential crisis. And yet, in the middle of all this turbulence, there's one part of the airline industry still flying high: premium travel. Business class, first class, luxury cabins, those seats are still selling. In fact, they're selling better than before. United saw a 17% spike in premium bookings in just 2 weeks. International reservations are up 5%. And Delta? Their premium seat revenue is outpacing the main cabin by a wide margin. Why? Because the people booking those tickets aren't feeling the pinch like everyone else. Corporate travel is steady. High-income flyers are still prioritizing comfort and flexibility, and airlines are capitalizing on that. United credited its better-than-expected earnings last quarter to strong performance in its premium cabins. More brand loyalty, more diversified revenue, less exposure to budget volatility. It's a winning formula for now. But not everyone can pivot to luxury. Southwest in particular is under pressure. After reporting a $149 million loss in the first quarter of 2025, despite $6.4 billion in revenue, the airline is being forced to change, big time. Starting May 28, Southwest will officially end its long-standing 2 free bag policy. Only elite-tier passengers and business select customers will keep the benefit. Everyone else, 1 free checked bag if you have their credit card. Otherwise, it's pay up. This change alone is expected to bring in $1.5 billion annually, and it's not the only shift. Southwest is also overhauling its fare structure. No more simple want-to-get-away model. Instead, they're rolling out 4 new tiers: Basic, Choice, Choice Preferred, and Choice Extra. And if that sounds complicated, it is. Basic offers the bare minimum: back-of-the-plane seating, limited credits, and no flexibility. Choice adds a little more: transferable credits and same-day changes. At the top, Choice Preferred and Choice Extra offer premium perks like priority boarding, extra legroom, premium drinks, and yes, free bags. But for most passengers, those perks will now come at a steep price. All of this adds up to a new reality for travelers: fewer flights, higher costs, less predictability, and growing uncertainty about whether your next trip will go as planned or even happen at all. So, will you make it home this holiday season? Or will your plans be grounded by a system that's cracking under pressure? The skies are getting stormy, but we'll be here to guide you through it. With airlines slashing routes, packing planes, and introducing new fees, even for things that used to be free, making it home for the holidays is starting to feel like more of a gamble than a guarantee. As demand softens and economic uncertainty grows, what once felt like a routine trip may now come with unexpected layovers, canceled flights, or last-minute scrambles to rebook. And while premium travelers may still enjoy some breathing room, the rest of us are left navigating a crowded, costly, and unpredictable system. So the big question is this just a seasonal rough patch, or are we entering a new era of flying where convenience and affordability are harder to come by? We'll be keeping an eye on how the airlines respond, but in the meantime, we want to hear from you. What's the worst travel nightmare you've ever experienced? Was your flight delayed for hours, canceled with no explanation, or maybe something even crazier? Drop your story in the comments below, and if you want to stay ahead of the chaos, check out our other videos for more travel news, smart tips, and real talk about what's happening in the skies. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because the runway ahead is anything but smooth.